Say hello. Look, look, look over there. Look, look. My dog, the Johnny boy, the Johnny. Speaking of dogs and chronic pain in the body, neck, back, arm, shoulder, even ringing sensations, tinnitus, stomach pain, hip pain, knee pain that has been recurring, chronic, long-term, could be tension myositis syndrome, or TMS as Dr. Jon Sarno called it. And speaking of dogs, little dogs, big dogs, on the journey to wanting to recover and move through and past chronic debilitating pain can mean having to face the barking dog. My name's Trevor Russell, and I am someone who has, from applying the principles of Dr. Jon Sarno after discovering him some maybe 15 years ago, and the works of Nicole Sachs, Dan, and Alan Gordan, and there is another gentleman's name who escapes me at the moment, but I will remember it later, has helped me to navigate myself through to recovery from chronic debilitating pain. And that's included debilitating RSI in my right hand, where I literally couldn't use my hand. The pain and pulsing was so bad, to stabbing pain in the neck, shoulders, to lower back pain for years, left side, right side, sciatic sensations as they call it, perceptions down the leg, and probably some other things I've forgotten at this time, but I've had it all: the burning, the stinging, the pulsing, the just relentless pain that didn't turn off, sometimes for months. And I now don't have pain, and so it is possible. However, what I'd like to dedicate this video to today is the concept of facing the barking dog. And what do I mean by that? Well, there was a story once upon a time about, let's call him a guy. He wanted to get home, but there was a street that he could go down, which was a shortcut to where he lived. But in that street was this dog, and every time he walked down the street, the dog was so scary how it would bark and yell and just almost like ready to break off the chain and attack him, that he was so afraid to go down that path. So he would walk all this way around to get home. And in the end he thought, I've just had enough. I'm wasting so much time going this long way around to get home. I'm going to face the barking dog. So the story goes that he walks down the street one day and he confronts this barking dog, and then he realizes as he gets closer that the dog has no teeth and barks, and actually was really harmless and couldn't even hurt him. And so he started walking that way and got his shortcut to home because he faced the barking dog. Now, what's that got to do with chronic pain? Well, I believe that with our brain, if you understand this concept of TMS, if you don't, look up Dr. Jon E. Sarno, Curing Your Neck and Back Pain, and a whole lot of videos on TMS. And you know what the brain does is it actually puts us into a feeling of danger, and or it just does this thing one day where it turns on pain by cutting off minute amounts of oxygen to parts of our body that creates pain. Now, apparently this pain is harmless, but it feels painful, and it is very much not imagined. It is real pain that you feel in your body, and this is not just made up in your head. Whatever's going on, it is causing pain. So it is real. But one of the things that I learned on my journey to recovering from pain was to face it. And this video was inspired quote from one of my subscribers who made a comment about, but I'm in so much pain, how can I even consider, doing any of what you've said? And I get it. I get how scary and confronting it can be when you're in chronic pain. You don't want it to move. You don't want to risk overdoing it because you think you're only going to exacerbate the pain. However, as hard as it is, what I learned and applied, and it does take courage. You can't do it every day, I get it. But the more you can face that barking dog, which is the brain causing this pain-induced sensation, and saying to yourself and doing what you can to go, I'm all good. There's nothing wrong with me here, even while you're in pain and could be in a lot of pain. I'm all good. Nothing to be afraid of here. And as one lady I worked with through Alan Gordan's coaching service, lovely pain TMS recovery therapist, she taught me the concept of saying some days to the pain, bring it on. Like whatever you're feeling, to say to your body, say, bring it on, brain. Is that all you've got? Is that all you can give me? You can do better than that. Now, I'm saying that is not an easy thing to do, but at times when I did it, and I'm confident a big part of my recovery was to really lean into it and say those things, say, come on, bring it on. Because it's almost like it's barking, but when you face it like that and go, is that all you've got? Are you just barking and causing this well, it's not imagine, you're feeling it, this pain, come on. And the brain thinks, well, maybe they're not as afraid, and me trying to protect them and putting them in pain danger zone. And after a while, the brain gives up the fight. Now, I'm not saying facing the barking dog is easy. It is very challenging. But like most things in life that are worth achieving, especially breaking this wired in pain-inducing thing that the brain does that causes this chronic recurring pain, is to face it. And to the lovely lady who reached out to me and said, how do I do it? My response is, how could you not do it? How could you not at least try? How could you not, while you're getting some treatments and still possibly got beliefs that there is something wrong? And she mentioned how she's got scar tissue. Well, who even said scar tissue gives you pain? Is that just another made up story about why this supposed pressing on a nerve gives you pain? I mean, really, when you think about it, something that is that small, millimeters, is supposedly pressing on something, floors you to chronic, debilitating pain. I mean, come on. The body is so much stronger than that. I mean, I don't know you, I've knocked my arm on the wall and it's friggin' hurt, but it gets better. You're telling me that this tiny little millimeter thing sticking out in the lower back, pressing on something, is just closing your leg down for months and years on end? I don't agree. I know, because I've still got bulging disc, but I don't have pain. So wrapping this video up, thank you. I know this journey is challenging, but let's review the big rocks on your path to want to feel better, break the pain cycle, and completely recover it, because it's possible. My recommendation today is to stop believing the stories. I love doctors. I mean, they're amazing people, what they do to help us. But some of these outdated concepts for certain people, whereby it is long-term chronic recurring pain, it would make sense that doctors are doing their best to try and find a solution, but they don't have months and years to dissect the depth of psychological trauma and changing habits. They're seeking a quick answer because people want quick answers. People don't want to be in pain. They're like, give me a tablet, cut it out, let's do it. But if you're wanting a long-term recovery and also to become a different person on this journey, because let me tell you, what I've learned on this pathway of facing the dog, learning how to do life differently, I do not beat myself up anymore about the past. I forgive. This inner critic is a big part of what can induce chronic recurring pain is being so hard on ourselves, and I still struggle with it, but I just have decided I'm not going to go there as much as I can. I want to be my best friend, be kind to myself, and appreciate the life I have, and to be gentle and loving to myself, not be my own worst enemy and constantly be putting myself under this pressure that I picked up, you know, on my journey from childhood or my personality or wherever it came from. But coming back to the message, face the dog. Look at it and say, I can do this. How could I not try at least? Keep trying, because what's the alternative? Staying stuck? But what's the upside? You will, after a while, feel better. I promise you. And if you've ever done this, please let me know. Have you ever faced the pain? Have you ever said to yourself, enough's enough, I'm going to get on with living? I think it was Alan Gordan, actually. He had a migraine for 2 years, and in the end he said, I'm done. I'm just going to start living with this migraine. I think it was him, but whoever it was. And eventually the migraine lifted, because the body's like, oh, you know. So it's an interesting concept, I know, but I assure you, if you're willing to do the work differently to just physical treatments and believing in, oh, it's scar tissue that's giving me pain. Really, is it? Who said scar tissue gives pain? It's sciatica, it's pressing on my nerves. Or I had an accident in 1998, and 23 years ago, and I've still got chronic recurring pain. I would respectfully disagree. Maybe not in all cases, maybe there is debilitating injury, but in many cases, from what I've discovered, I know people that have had the worst accidents, have had terrible scar tissue, and they don't have any pain. So is it the accident, or is it how we are processing life and what we've experienced and who we are as people and how we're doing life? So let's change that. Let's start believing that this is a mental condition, and we can change our thoughts to change how we're feeling in the body, and to let it go, to reprogram the pain, face the barking dog, face the brain at times and say, hey, I'm good. You can bark, you can give me pain, but I'm going to go do what I'm going to do. That could be the thing that helps you on this journey. Thank you for watching. Tell me how you're doing, and let me know. And if I can help, I'll do my best. And if not, I'll direct you to someone who can. And sending love. It is a courageous journey, but if you really want it, it is possible. I've done it, others have done it, and I'm talking, I've had the worst pain. I could barely walk, I couldn't use my arm. The stabbing pain at night was relentless, debilitating, and it passed from doing this work. It's a journey, it's not a straight line, it's 2 steps forward, 1 sideways, 3 forward, 2 sideways, 1 back. But if you can stay on that path I talked about of belief, time, trust in your brain, it's a powerful organ, you will start to feel the pain lifting. Next video, I'm going to talk about boundaries and starting to say no and starting to respect yourself more, because this is another key pathway to breaking the pain cycle. But for now, sending love. You've got this, you are courageous, 1 step at a time. Face the dog. It's probably got no teeth, and I know it doesn't. Ciao for now.